Hello everyone, this is Maureen and welcome back to another episode of Mosaic Mondays. Now, if you've been following me since the first of the year, you know that I'm working on 4 different blankets. 3 are mosaic and one is just a collection of panels of different stitches. I mean, they do have a rhyme or reason to them, but for the most part, I am working on 4 separate blankets, and I try to rotate out each week to you my progress on them. Now, I have fallen way behind on my calendar crochet along by Nikki'S Handmade Crafts, but I finally got finished with February's section, and I've got just a little bit of the March started so that you can see the 2 colors that I chose. Probably didn't really give you a good idea of the contrast, but maybe you can see just a little bit of it. Now, I will let you know that I will continue working and showing you my progress each week on the calendar blanket while I am also rotating through my other 3 because I don't want to get behind on them as well. But eventually, I'm thinking maybe by July, I'll be caught up with the calendar month that I'm supposed to be working on. But until then, I'm just going to plod along, like I said, adding a few rows each week along with my other blanket that I'll be working on so that I can show you the progress of each one of them. Now, I'm going to show you a picture here in just a minute to remind you of what the calendar blanket looks like. But as always, there is a link for you for each one of the blankets that I'm working on at this moment down in the description box. It'll take you right to the link if you're interested in doing any of them, and it'll tell you, what you need to do. As you know, I've fallen in love with doing the mosaics, and so this is just one of the ones I'm working on. So like I said, I wanted to show you my progress. But before I get to that, let me say thank you to each and every one of you that come back every week to see my progress. It just makes me so happy, especially when you leave me a comment of how you think. Like on this blanket, you'll see that I'm not following her colors, but I'm picking my own, and some of you are kind of helping me do that as well. And so that's been exciting. And like I said, I just love your comments of encouragement, and I hope too that by you seeing what I'm doing, for those of you that have not tried mosaic, I've shared with you many times, I have put off so many years not doing mosaic because I thought it was so hard. I just didn't take the time to actually sit down and see what all was involved with mosaics. But folks, if you can do a single crochet and a double crochet, if you can follow a pattern, read a chart, or even follow it through a tutorial, there is really nothing to it except counting. And I find for myself that by using stitch markers, especially if there's like a repeat pattern throughout the row, that helps as well. But you know what? We all have our own little tricks of dealing with what we need to do for any pattern. And so don't put it off. Honestly, mosaic is so enjoyable, and especially if you're like me, if blankets are not your thing, and they're not my thing. But the reason why I love mosaic so much is the fact that the pattern changes and it keeps it interesting for me. And it doesn't matter that I'm only working 2 stitches. It truly doesn't. So for me, it's all about the fact that there's like a story being told in the blanket itself. So I think that's why I have really jumped on board with the mosaics, and I have loved doing them ever since my first one. Remember, last year before last, I can't remember, it seems like I've been doing it forever now, the show lock. So that one blanket, just like the Kraken in amigurumis, got me hooked, and so here I am. So let me stop just a minute and drop in the picture for you to look at so that you can see what the calendar blanket looks like. Now, like I said, this is Nikki'S design, and you can buy the whole pattern at once like I did, or you can follow along with her. She drops each panel for the month at the beginning of the month. Like here just recently she dropped the pattern for the May panel. So you can either do it that way where she just drops down the panel, you know, each month and it's free, or you can buy the complete pattern like I did so that you could work on it at your leisure, and there you go. So anyway, let me show you how I have progressed so far. Now, I was showing this off to some friends this morning, and you know, I got to looking at this, and somewhere I got it in my head, and I honestly think it's because someone said it, and maybe not so much that it's true, but I thought that the pattern was hearts and cupids. But take a look at the pattern and see what you think. So there's February. Now if you remember, I've already done March, and of course I did the flip-flop of her colors. I didn't want blue snowmen, I wanted white snowmen. But looky there, what do you see sitting next to those hearts? Is that a cupid or is it something else? What do you think? Oh, let me move it over a little bit there for you. There you go. What do you think this is right here? Does that look like a cupid? No. So I'm going to get you to tell me down in the comment section what you think it is, and I'll tell you if you're right. But look at that. Now, as I told you, I did not choose the traditional red for the hearts and what I thought was Cupid, or for this other pattern here. But I did go with a cream, or very light cream, instead of a white, because if you look at the white on the January, you can tell that there is a difference. A slight difference, but there is a difference. And then this little top section here is the two colors that I have chosen for February. This beautiful yellow here, and then this is a variegated green. I don't have the ball bands on them, but both of these yarns came from Mary Maxim, and I'm very, very happy with them. Now these colors here also came from Mary Maxim, but again, like I said, I don't have the ball bands to tell you which ones they were. But that's where I'm at. So I do hope that you enjoy this, and please tell me what you think that other little pattern is down in the comment section, because I'd like to know if you know what it is. It's not a Cupid, okay? I'm just going to tell you, it's not Cupid, but hopefully you were able to get enough of the pattern to figure out what it is. So next week I'll be showing you my progress on this blanket, see how far into March I can get, and my progress on the desert cactus. So as always, folks, thank you so much for following me along on this journey. All I ask is that you be sure and hit that like button and share it out. So if nothing else, I want people to know that mosaic is not that hard. It really, really isn't. And I would hate to know that anyone would go one more day putting it off because they think it looks too hard to do. And it is not. Take it from this old lady here that put off so many years. And look at the years of enjoyment that I could have had. And I don't want anyone else to go that long without fully immersing themselves in this beautiful, beautiful technique of our crochet. So until next time, folks, always remember, be the light out there in the darkness for someone today, because you never know, could be your light they're waiting to see. I love you guys. Bye.